Unity Broadcasting.
Tuesday, 27 January 2026, the Ministry of Information and Civil Education begets the weekly press conference na the Miata Civil Center na Freetown. Chegnoba, the Minister of Information and Civil Education, chaired the press conference. During the press conference, Maria Majalo from the Young Women in Governance Network say they talk on behalf of young women them and say young women them beget representative all over the country for listening to the first hand of the Constitution review hearing and make them know wetin dey inside the Constitution for women them.
In which we began representative from across all the 16 districts, specifically to young women, and they talk on behalf of the young women. So specifically to the young women, we began representatives from across all the 16 districts, so we members them for can witness firsthand outside the Minister of Information and also the Attorney General, they make a presentation on wetin dey inside this new Constitution for the women them. So, and also yesterday again, I be joined the team in Parliament where we began the first hearing on the constitutional review.
They continue for say, then they empower the members them.
We first of all start at the tertiary level for make sure say we gather with members them across the tertiary institutions then, and for make sure say they become well equipped. We not only they gather members then, we can embark on capacity building, we can embark on community engagement, and also we can embark on advocacy and lobbying. He
outlined wetin dey na the Constitution for women them. He end say young people want for see clearly all of the above within the Constitution for come to light.
Them dey inside this new Constitution where they benefit women and young women to be specific. One of the things, of course, the 5 pillars there around the economic empowerment, so we try to see equal pay for equal work. How you work, the work where women they do equally, man where you do equally, we forget the same pay, no discrimination. And then also again, in terms of that economic empowerment day again, we see say we get for promote from business now to entrepreneurship, for also try for say we promote this topic and now for become innovators, because we realize say every year we get a lot of graduates then, but also everybody they get work at the same time. So we try for within the space, we realize that there is a space for make sure say innovators they come on board. And then the second pillar within this new Constitution, where gets for do with women then the political power, just as we name implies, Young Women in Governance Network. We not only strive into the political space, we strive into leadership across all levels. As recent as last month or 2 weeks back, we get 2 of the members them. One at Kono, where we the Kono National Students Union president, and then another member again at Kenema, where we the ETU National Students Union, ETU Students Union president. So that a first in both districts for make sure say we try for see how we they empower women them. And then in terms of that political power and political power day, 30% quota for women across all electoral system, regardless of the electoral system where the country they adopt. We know say 30% quota they are upright. And then in terms of social investment again, there are 2 key areas we mention when education and also health, for make sure say that when you get well body, now you're able for engage in a lot of other things there where they promote development. And then in terms of justice and safety again, I think within the new Constitution, we see say there is a bid for increased judges there for speed up the judgments, because initially we don't get cases, especially at the district level, and we realize say for late judgments each year are not easy. So like kudos to the team for make sure say they increase the judges then for speed up the judgments across all levels. And then the final pillar, when are the human rights, when they try for say initially will be used for say the papa that they need citizenship to picking them as alone. So we see say within this new space, even the woman herself, they give citizenship to them picking them. So directly to the question, Mr. Honorable, waiting we the young people they want for see. All anything that I want to highlight, we want for see and clearly stated within the new Constitution. And then also again, in terms of this women representation, we want to see in a mandate on a 30% quota provision in whatever electoral system the country they adopt for every electoral cycle. And also we want to see a space outside the young people and the youth, to be specific. They get increased access to tech work and skills vocational training for make sure say just like I mentioned, not to everybody will go college graduate to get work. So for make sure say we're able to speed up and also expand the space, for make sure say people can go into skills building and also in return enhance the entrepreneurship aspect.
Right.
Alpha Cissé, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, say overall objective for the Constitution review na for strengthening the governance system na the country. He give brief history of the Constitution. He say as a nation we for try for be a better version of ourselves. It can continue with when the process starts for review the Constitution and end with the 2021.
Overall objective, I would say, now how we will get a constitution, we will strengthen the governance architecture or governance system in this country as well. And why we lay that as, the big, we'll say, vision or the reason why we want to do this. We go back to the history, as my brother said. The constitution we get right now come into effect just about the time when the war starts in this country. Before we get the 1991 constitution, which we will get na the 1978 one-party constitution. And one party be the opposite. Some people like even say we get a one-party dictatorship. We put it that way. And then we decide as a country forget a multi-party constitution. We will make room for make more than one party take part in elections and governance in this country as well. And of course, in this 1991 constitution, we put several provisions, right? We get separation of powers, executive branch, judiciary, and legislature in the parliament, the human rights, etc., etc. But then, like I say, that 1991 the war started in this country. The war go on up to 2002, where we see the war done. But before the war, before we make that pronouncement day, in 1999 we signed a peace agreement with the rebels then. When government, the RUF, civil society, development partners as moral guarantors to the process, meet na Lome and agree on waiting become the Lome Peace Agreement, then put in Article 10 of the Lome Peace Agreement for revise the Constitution. Because after they don't negotiate everything, they realize the 1991 Constitution, the way with Freeman and get them out, are not sufficient for prevent the backsliding. So when somebody say if it's not broken, don't fix it. When we sign the peace agreement for end the war in this country, we acknowledge say it is broken. And so we take steps for fixing. And besides that, as a nation, as individuals, we always get for strive for be a better version of ourselves. So if we want to say we want a constitution we better than what we get right now, it's something we for celebrate. But that will be the first acknowledgement. And then when the war comes to an end, inside the Lome Peace Agreement again, we agree we will set up a Truth and Reconciliation Commission. We go take a historic account of what happened during the war. We will lay out the things that will cause the war in this country. We will take steps for reconcile communities. We will take steps for provide for reparations for how we will take care of persons affected by the war. But then we will lay out very clear recommendations. waiting we can call in transitional justice circles, say non-repetition. Recommendations we will ensure say we not go back, we say we come out. And the TRC identified a lot of things that will be wrong in the governance system, including in the constitution. And so the TRC recommends say, make we undertake broad consultations across the country, revise the constitution, the 91 constitution, and come up with a constitution which will reflect the views and aspirations of the people of this country for a peaceful and democratic society we're connected to national development. Again, when somebody say, if it's not broken, why fix it? The mechanism where we set up for dig into why we get war in this country and for advisory on how we go make sure we will not get war in this country again, they recommend say, this is broken and we need for fixer.
Thank you, sir. So, clear historical record, 1999 and the 2004 TRC reports. Now, I want to move on from that to whose then we begin the process for act on that recommendation day. Take me through the process. We don't go so far for act on that recommendation.
Thank you, Minister. So again, when the TRC made that recommendation, say we will revise this constitution, we will revise the constitution. Government began for issue a white paper. That's a day, Pakaba Naina the president. Issue a white paper on the TRC in recommendations and states you want them where government go able to do. You want them we're going to be challenging for government. We say, okay, you know, we need to get help from the development partners. We want them we say, okay, then why we're not going to do it now, but we'll consider it later. In that white paper, they one of the things that we government commit for do and for revise or change the constitution. So now yonder we start actively as government and as a people for change the 1991 constitution. So late President Kaba began for set up what we call the Dr. Peter Tucker Constitutional Review Committee. Now for 1991 again, the person who have been chair of the Constitutional Review Committee have been Dr. Peter Tucker. So President Kaba late President Kaba set up this committee, we chaired again by Dr. Peter Tucker, do consultations, come up with a report on waiting the revised or new constitution for look like. But by the time where Dr. Peter Tucker in committee, the complete in work, we don't get a change of government. So when Peter Tucker in committee submit the report, they submit the report to former President Nkrumah. Yes. So this now we don't move into 2008. Submit to former President Nkrumah. And the savings for me to understand when it comes to this constitutional review process, now this is an example of continuity in government. When one government starts, the other government will kill the project. So Dr. Peter Tucker and committee submit reports to former President Nkrumah. When former President Nkrumah in government look at this report, they say we need to get more consultations on this process. And so in 2013, the government of former President Nkrumah is set up waiting we can know as a Justice Edmund Kawan Constitutional Review Committee. A matter of fact, that committee did plenty of their engagements on this process. Yeah, they will do that. And the plenty of the discussions, the hearings happen. 80 members from all shades of Sierra Leonean society. All registered political parties were there. Institutions where the state don't set up for strengthening the governance system were there, Human Rights Commission, lawyers have been did it, market women been did it, youth groups they did it, all the civil society members they did it. That committee they worked from 2013 to 2017. And I can say I don't like for lose the opportunity for talk about the statistics. So Minister, if you allow me, please I want for talk about that. When you look at the report, the records shows the Cowan Committee hold over 10,000 public consultations in this country as well. They receive over 150 position papers from various groups, individuals as well, political parties submit papers, youth groups submit papers, NGOs submit papers, the Rastafarians and submit paper. Everybody states within an interest in this new constitution as well. They get over 80 expert engagements on key constitutional issues. They get over 180 direct engagement with various groups here to address issues in of interest to the people of this country as well. They distribute over 70,000 forms across the country. In terms of engagement on air, they get more than 20,000 hours, 20,000 hours of engagement on the media. They set up a website. We get about 40,960 visitors, website visitors, at a time when internet penetration not be as advanced as we get now. That's not the level of engagement. And then submit report in 2017 to former President Nkrumah. And after that, we begin to see with the first government white paper on the Constitution, issued in June of 2017 by the government of former President Nkrumah, in which the government accepts some of the recommendations in, and of course, as you'll expect, not accept some.
21 white paper.
We get the second white paper. We will say now be an upgrade to the first white paper. Add to the recommendations were accepted from the Cowan report. So really, this really now the journey where we try for tip to completion.
For Unity News Brief, Marie Bilkish Dumbia, the report.
Thursday, January 28, people wake up and know say fuel price don't go up na the country. Fuel na salon, na like blood inside mortal man in body. A fuel in price go up, but cool business them price self they go up. This don't come with yagba for the one them where they do transport business. Unity Broadcasting go work on a Peninsula Road to know how people where they do business with fuel they do. Unity Broadcasting see Aminata fuel station. They sell petrol 22 leons, diesel 23 leons, and plenty people been they go buy fuel day. Unity Broadcasting talk to Jesper where they ride tricycle, where then call keke, and it talk to Unity Broadcasting but the fuel price.
I dey run from Lumley to Mambo. Well, due to the price dem wey we come it, because all the others then they sell 25, then they sell 22. So we decide say well na how we for come by. So now that's the issue make it come by here due to the price. Well, just like I would say, now due to the price, the way how then they sell, because all the other fuel stations there, me they expect say then they sell 25. But Aminata fuel station, yeah, then they sell 22,000. So we decide for come by it.
Sorry Ali Toure, they ride bike where then they call Okada. They talk to Unity Broadcasting, but how the fuel price they affect them.
They ride now normally, but they go different location. Okay. Like Aminata fuel station, I don't care. They do extremely well because most of the fuel stations, starting from Lumley, Leonco fuel station, or Lock, from this morning we don't miss, they don't pass through But if we can add on care Amnet Affairs Station, there they sell ghee commercial bike riders and keke at the same time, and they are doing extremely well. 22 to be frank enough now, 22 they sell ghee. To be frank enough now, 22. Starting from this month, this 2026 January, Amnet Affairs Station at Donkia now 22,000 they sell ghee there. 22 Leon, sorry.
Tamba Fire, na motor mechanic wey dey drive for Global Bakery wey go buy fuel na Aminata filling station at Donkia. He talk to Unity Broadcasting but the fuel price.
Me na motor mechanic. Me na driver, dey drive for Global Bakery, Sierra Leone. Well, from where me self can at this area, we get a Global Bakery. Na fuel we dey use, diesel and petrol. So we decide say the machine and they pump the full liter what we need. Yes, full liter and then fuel. Okay, so that make we still the Canadian station. Well, that the same price no more 24,000.
Unity Broadcasting been go waka na the Peninsula Road but see the other filling station them wey been lock, and the MP filling station at Mambo been dey sell 28 leons 50 cents. For Unity News Brief, Nelson Cocker dey report.
Unity Broadcasting. Unity Broadcasting. Unity Broadcasting. Unity Broadcasting.